Alright guys, outdoor exclusives here. Today I wanted to show you my first Benchmade that I had gotten. Still my only one, and it's a fairly popular one actually. This is the Benchmade 940. Okay, so I'm really just giving my opinions and thoughts on these knives rather than the boring specs, and I'll tell you some of the materials, but I don't really want to throw in the blade length and, you know, all that crazy stuff out there. I'll give steels and locks and stuff, but this is just some of my opinions on this knife and, you know, maybe some of the troubles I had with it. So I actually got this knife in a knife trade as well, off of Instagram, but this was my first Benchmade and I had gotten it, and this is, by the way, this is not the clip that comes with it. The person who I traded with happened to get the deep carry clip from Benchmade apparently, and so I got it with the deep carry clip, which was kind of a bonus. But first off, this knife is really actually a really good size, and it's an ergonomic blessing. Okay, so the lock here is the access lock, and the access lock is really nice to access and is honestly really smooth. But here's the thing though, this knife is not always smooth, meaning it takes time to break this knife in. When I first got this knife, it was barely used and the lock was extremely sticky. Tons of lock stick. No matter how hard I flicked it, the lock would just stick. I mean, it wasn't a big issue, but it was definitely a hindrance to me using it. It really irritated me when actuating the knife, but after time, this knife becomes really smooth, really nice. We have, I don't know if you can see it in there, but there are big old phosphor bronze washers in there. Sorry, I can't speak today. And that really makes this knife really smooth. Aluminum handle scales with a purple anodized backspacer. Lots of screws in this knife, honestly. Definitely on the show side versus something like your ZT0055, which is really clean on the show side. Not really a big deal, but definitely takes away from the look of the aluminum. This knife, honestly, is a really decent EDC knife. Honestly, it's almost EDC perfection. The centering is perfect. Lockup is great. Deployment is really fun to actuate. You can just flick this thing all day. Not gonna have a problem. Always gonna deploy. They gave some jimping up here, which is decent. I mean, it's not really functional, but I guess in some situations it would be. This knife, honestly, I think has a lot of potential even though it's been out for so long. I would like to see different variations of this. There are already different variations with different handle materials like G10 and carbon fiber and anodized backspacers, but I would really like to see Benchmade somehow do like a automatic version of the 940. Benchmade has some automatic knives, but I'd like to see them expand the line of the 940, honestly. Even though I've only had this knife for about 2 months now, the fact of seeing this knife as it is makes me wonder what Benchmade could do to it and change it. Maybe giving it an automatic plunge lock, maybe even giving it a flipper. I don't know. I think this knife would be really nice to flip. I like the thumb studs, but I think it would be good as a flipper too. This actually rides really nice in your pocket, especially if you have the deep carry clip. I don't like those screws sticking out there though. I wish they were recessed because that's really gonna bite up your pocket coming in and out. I don't know how the aluminum scales are gonna wear. I don't even think that's wear on mine. It's just maybe some dirtiness. Yeah, it just looks dirty. But this is definitely a good EDC knife. I could totally see this fitting into anybody's hands. Maybe not if you have ginormous hands, but my hands, it's gonna fit my hands just nice and perfect. Have a little bit sticking out the back. Really choke up on it too. I don't know about here, not really a finger choil, but definitely have enough grip area. You can plant your thumb up here on the top where it's flat. Definitely get to work. Anybody who's into Spyderco's will know Spyderco uses a lot of S30V. This is S30V, but I think Benchmade's S30V is a little harder to sharpen. This is my own edge on here. This is not the factory edge. I would do a cut test, but I have no paper. But the action is great on here. Ergonomics are fantastic. Lock is great, besides having some lock stick occasionally before you break it in. But overall, I think this knife is gonna be great for a lot of people, especially coming in at a price point of 180 bucks. And there's some different flavors out there. There's this original version with the purple backspacer and the green anodized aluminum scales. But there's versions with carbon fiber and G10, but this is a great knife, and I don't know how long it's been with Benchmade, but I do know Benchmade has had this in their line for a long time from what I've heard. But overall, my first experience with Benchmade was great. I'm honestly happy about this. The grind lines on here are fantastic. I don't know if you can see that. Really nice. But yeah, that's just my thoughts and opinions on the Benchmade 940. And I hope you guys liked this video, and thanks for tuning in. Thanks, and I'll see you again.